Hey friends, it's Ruben with Hi-Fi MIDI. Thanks for joining me for this live stream. I know it's unannounced. Um, my work is kind of done on a when I'm available basis. So I need to get this track done today. So if you're out there and you can hear me, say hi. And this is going to be a long one because I'm about halfway done with the part that's already recorded, but I also have to create a new theme, an original theme. So I have to finish this for the client. Usually this takes me about 2 to 3 days when done, separately. I don't like working on one project in one day because it fatigues my ears. Anyway, here I'm going to play the beginning part, and then right here on the green and blue section, that's the part that I haven't worked on. Hey, Gailey. So I did actually work on this one. That's good. That's going to save me some time. I'm going to go ahead and start fixing the drums. I don't want to talk too much during this episode. I'm going to have to just to explain what I'm doing. But I'm going to try to just get more work done. Okay, so that's measure 14. So I'll go ahead and raise the dynamic on these, just the snare and the kick. Then let's humanize this just a little bit. So I'm raising the velocity on the notes that land on the stronger beats. So let's add a crash on this. The crash is going to hit with a snare. And then maybe, I don't know if I want the same crash. I'll try it for now. Maybe another crash on this kick. That way it's accented. And then we'll copy this. All right, that sounds pretty good for now. That part, since it's a diminished chord, I really like hearing diminished chords with church organs. And the client, Bridge Capper, wanted a church organ on this. So I haven't really selected this. I'm using Vienna Organ Player. Hopefully, okay, this is literally my first time using this. I bought this maybe 6 months ago or more. I don't know how to use it. I've never really spent time with it, but I knew that I wanted some type of church organ, and this has a great pipe organ sound. So this is called Great Rieger Organ. So let's hear that. Okay, so A minor. Maybe, I don't know if I want the chord like this, just held notes. Or if I want, I don't know. We'll see. Pipe organ. All right, so bum, bum, bum. I'm gonna go ahead and write in these notes or draw in these notes. So 1, 2. So I set the grid to 16th notes. And then here's a C major. So it's going to follow the same arpeggio style. So right here on the and of 4, that's where it changes to the diminished. So I need to watch out on that. And I think on the and of 2, it changes as well. So let me hear that. No, not a Hammond, unfortunately. More of a pipe organ. So if you hear the bass is changing to the C major on the and of 2. So I'm going to change this note to G. And this is fine right here, but this is going to need to go to the F sharp for the diminished chord. Da, 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 da. So this is not going to interrupt the guitar. If you hear the melody on the guitar, it goes bum ba da da da. So I don't know what I want the organ to do right there. Maybe an ascending scale. So let's hear that. I really like that. So all I'm doing right here is an ascending sequence. This is based on the C diminished. Let's hear how that sounds. I feel like too many notes are repeated. Hold on. Is that what I literally just did? Yeah. Sorry. Boom, boom. And this is going to repeat. Now for church organ, you never use velocity because church organs are not affected by velocity. Church organs and it doesn't have to be a church organ. It could be a B3 or Farfisa, Vox, Continental. They use expression. So it's literally a volume pedal. And dynamics can be controlled either by the tone wheel, not the tone wheel, the drawbars, or by stops if it's a pipe organ. But all of them also use the expression pedal, which controls the volume. All right, let's hear it with the rest. I like it. I'm gonna cut out some frequencies that may make it seem like it's getting in the way of the guitar, because the organ and the guitar share a lot of the same frequencies, especially in those melodic ranges. See, over here at the top. Whereas the guitar, let's listen to the guitar. So the guitar, you see a lot of these little peaks right here in that same range. So I'm going to pull the organ back just a little bit. Actually, let me go ahead and loop this. So you can still kind of hear the organ, and it's filling out all those frequencies that the guitar is not playing on. I think it sounds good. We'll listen to it later on and decide if we should keep it or not. Yeah, you know what? Sorry, I'm trying to pronounce your name, Davidi. I really love the way Studio One looks. I've used it before. I mean, if you learn a DAW, just stick with it, unless it's missing some key features that you absolutely need. But yeah, I love the workflow in Cubase. I moved over from Logic to Cubase because it just made composing so much easier and mixing. Although some people would argue that Logic has an incredible mixing workflow. All right, last part. So another thing I like to do is just to listen again, make sure that the parts flow into each other, to one another, that it doesn't sound abrupt. I know that these are strikingly different from each other visually. Red, marigold and lime green. But just listen to it and let me know if you think it flows or if it's just stark. Okay, I thought that theme 2 flowed well into the transition. However, there's a stark contrast between theme 1 and theme 2. That's okay. But there are ways to help improve that. One of the things I like to use is cymbal swell or reverse cymbal. So I go to my media bay in Cubase on the right side and type in reverse, and then should be a reverse cymbal. I'm gonna audition these. Actually, this is the one I usually use. So I'm gonna drag this in, and I'm going to create a new audio track. Actually, it creates a new audio track automatically, but I'm gonna create a one measure or maybe two beat cymbal swell. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. So notice that this sample doesn't really fit this tempo. A cool feature in Cubase is that if you press 1 a couple of times, right now I'm on the object selection, but if you type it again, changes to size moves contents, and then it turns into sizing applies time stretch. So that's the one that I want. Now I'm going to drag this, and now it's fitting the entire measure. Let's listen to it, see if that's what we want. Okay, good. I like that. Now we have to do a couple things. Or I have to do, a couple things. Lower the volume because this is way too loud. All right, now I'm going to apply a reverb to this. That way, whenever it ends, we get this tail. So I'm going to go to Inserts, and then which reverb do I like to use? You know what? Waves. H reverb is pretty cool. And this is a mono track, I believe. We could make it mono to stereo, but in this case, I'll just leave it at mono. And right now I have the mix of the reverb set to 100% wet. I'm gonna lower it to 50, but I'll adjust it depending on the taste. Maybe a little bit more. All right, so another thing I can do is add the crash on the drum kit right at that point. So, there you go. Usually it's C# 2. I'll raise the velocity on that all the way. And when you hit the crash, usually you don't hit the hi-hat at the same time. I know we don't have to be realistic, but I like doing these things for myself just to make it a habit. All right, so let's listen how. The goal is to make this reverse crash loud enough, or at the same volume as the crash on, or the crash on beat 1 of theme 2. So right now it doesn't sound like it's connecting well or it's flowing evenly. So let's put these together first of all. That doesn't sound like it flows correctly. It's a little better. Another thing I do is cut out some of the low end on this. All right, that's good enough for now. Let's listen to the whole thing. And then we could do another one here. I think I want to make it 2 beats or 1 beat. I'm not sure. So right here, it might not work because as you heard, there's a break right there. What do you guys think? Should I leave it as is? All right. At this point, I'm going to start coloring these tracks. I usually like keeping my percussion or certain instrument families the same colors. That way I don't have to really think about it. So, electric, this is going to be I don't know why I changed the color of that one. It's kind of weird. And then keys. And I start to organize them too. I don't know why this guitar is here, but there has to be some reason. Warm pad. So pipe organ is some type of key instrument. All right, let me correct these because I do not like how that looks. And there you go. And then I save. Another thing the client likes is orchestra hits. I was going to say orchestral hits. Orchestra hits. So I'm going to type that in. Orchestra hits. I think it's the general MIDI. I'm not sure. I wish there was a way to favorite these. There probably is. Yeah, there is. So I'm going to go ahead and click this one. I don't think that's the one, but let's try this one. That's the one. That usually I use that as my effects category. All right, so where could we put it? I think right here, maybe. Either with the bass or with the chord changes or with the accents on that. It will sound good either way, I think. And this is not the same green. There you go. That's the accent right there. I'm thinking of making it go with the kick. So bump, 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 bump. Bump, 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 bump. That might sound cool. So these are ideas that you could use for yourself. Orchestra hits. What do you want it to coincide with? You can choose the kick. You can choose the snare. It doesn't matter. So snare would be bop bop bop. Sorry, bop 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 bump bop bump bump bump, and the kick is bump 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 bump. So it would be. Let's try that. Let's try the kick. And then we're going to want to extend these. Now, some of these are overlapping, so I want to make sure they're not. And then we're going to duplicate that. All right, so that's like in the forefront. It's really loud. Orchid doesn't fit the genre. Maybe, maybe not. I think he wants a power hit on these. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna EQ some of it out. That way, it's kind of more felt than anything, rather than heard. All right, that sounds kind of cool. It seems like it's making the rhythm a little confusing though. I'm gonna carve out some of these frequencies that might compete with the guitar. All right, so let's hear with that transition. So I think I do like the orchestra hits right there. I think they're subtle enough to where they add to the punch of the music. Right here, I don't know if I want to use the guitar. I think I'm going to add some type of synth sound. So I'll open up Omnisphere. That's usually my go-to. Let's see. Omnisphere has so many good choices in here. So I want a polysynth, and I've already gone through all of these sounds and rated them, so I'm going to just go through the ones that I like. So usually what I like is to have contrast in if I have one section played by electric guitar or like a lead, I like the other section, if it's going to be a synth, to have a contrasting type of sound. See, that's a really great one. That's a good sound, but it's the attack is too slow, I think, and it's a little too mellow. Oh, there's so many good sounds here. I kind of really like that one right there. Let me just try it, okay? So this is a brass synth, I'll call it. Brass synth lead. So I'm going to drag this. And then instead of changing the octave here, I'm going to change it on the actual plugin itself. The reason you want to do it on the plugin is because if you end up changing your mind, you're not going to have to go through and change all of this stuff here in the MIDI. So it's really quick. Okay, purple. There's so many choices. Let me go ahead and fix the bass. So this synth is a little too loud. I think he wanted a slap bass. So maybe we'll do slap on here, on this section. And I need to remember what slap is on Easy Bass. So we have I don't think the pick has a slap, but I could be wrong. Does that sound like slap to you? Let me see if I can bypass this effect. It sounds like it is slap, but you know what I'm going to do is open up a secondary bass track. So I'll call this metal bass, or drive bass. And then I'll open up a new one and add a slap. One that sounds good. Then hopefully we can add that drive to it. That way it sort of matches slap bass. And then distorted metal. Nope, that's still kind of hard to hear. All right, so I'm gonna lower that gain so it's not as distorted. Okay. If we need to, we'll change it. We'll change the bass. Oops. So I think what I have to do, since it's non-latched, is to hold that slap all the way across for the duration of this MIDI section. But some of them are not going to be slap, I think. Maybe I'll do a pop here, an octave higher. Boom, ba. Oops. And then there's ghost notes. I forgot where they are. So E0 is ghost notes. Oh, I see. I need to get a sense of the timing. All right, now that I know what they are, I'm just gonna do it without the plugin open. Bum, bum, bum. I'm just gonna change the rhythm a little bit, add some ghost notes here just to kind of make it a little more funky. Maybe push this back and have this. Yeah, I like that. It kind of drives it forward a little bit. All right, on this part, I don't want the slap. Because that's like a disco sound. And then right here, maybe back to slap. Then I'll double these notes. And then change this. And then add the little ghost note right before this repeat. Let's hear how that sounds again as a whole performance and then with the band. Okay, that sounds cool. Now with the synth. It's coming together. Now let me add the EQ that I had. Just taking out that really low end. So everything below about 30 hertz. Just roll that off. Because the bass sounds a little boomy to my ears. All right, now let's fix the drums. With this, we're going to listen to it with the other instruments. Oops. All right, so I think everything we can raise it. Some of the tom hits I want a little lower. maybe on this part, I wanted to hit all the toms. So. There you go. And then this is gonna be like this, so I'll just copy and paste it. Last beat, or last 2 beats. All right, that's sounding better. Let me save that. All right, so what are we gonna do with the crash here? Right here, we definitely need a crash. Another hit. Maybe another crash, but we want different ones. So I'm gonna set the default velocity to 127. That way I don't have to correct it. That seems wrong. Right here, it sounds like the drums should develop a rhythm, like a full beat or something, but the music stops though, so that makes it a little difficult. And then right here, I'll just do a little chick. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of delay, so it's hard to talk. We'll lower that velocity, that way it's not standing out too much. Then right here, I kind of want a like that funk hi-hat rhythm, like 16 notes. Whoops. Okay, let's go ahead and right here it's on the snare hits. I'm gonna have to delete that. I don't like that. No. Maybe, I don't know if it's the actual hi-hat itself. Maybe up here. So I'll create first a groove on the hi-hats. Duplicate this. So what I'll do is create it independently and then make sure to delete the parts that conflict with the crash, with the snare, because they're not going to be hitting at the same time. I do like keeping it realistic in that sense. It just sounds better. All right, so let's start editing out hits. So that's a kick, it can hit at the same time. But at the snare, it can't really do that. Right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Oh, I forgot these. I forgot to copy these cymbal hits. Oops. My bad. So we'll delete this. Maybe leave a little gap. Then do the same thing here. Ah, my bad. I didn't not move it enough. There you go. Okay, I have to hit these first hits. I have to delete these first hits. Something is wrong with my brain today. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Drums are done on that section. All right, that first bass hit sounds really boomy and nasty. So let's drop it a little bit. All right, I'm going to add arpeggiating synth. That's what the client wanted as well. Let me bring the keyboards together. Right. As you can see, this starts getting complicated really quickly, right? I think we have rhythm guitar here. Hold on. Maybe I'll mute that. Just I want to keep it with the guitars, but we might keep it in for continuity. That way, it all sounds like it's part of the same song. But I want to try it first without. Okay, now let's open an arpeggiating synth. We might have to create our own arpeggio. This button on my shirt keeps opening. Hopefully you guys can't see that. Just kidding. Okay. So we could go with an arpeggio and listen to these, see what we like, or we can just pick a sound, make that an arpeggio. Nope. I want something a little more even. Nope. That's one that I could use. That one's pretty cool. I think the tail's a little too long on the delay. So valve radio, I don't know what that is. Where's the effects? Okay, aux. There it is. I want it only to last maybe one measure. So feedback. The feedback on a delay controls how long it plays. So I'm going to go half of that length, 35, so about 18%. I really like that sound. I might have to change it though. So if you have an arpeggiating synth behind a melody, I think it's a good practice to not let it compete frequency wise. So make it a lot mellower if the lead is very bright. That way you don't have two bright sounds competing with each other. So we're gonna call this synth arpeggio. And the chords are A minor, rather than playing this, I'm going to just write in the chords. I want this as clean as possible. Maybe I'll just make it three notes. I forget that this changes on the end of 4. So G6 is like an E minor. And then F major 7. We're going to do C. Whoops. There you go. And that's a G major. Then we're going to copy and paste this. But the last chord changes. That's a B, that's a E major. That's such a satisfying sound. Very bubbly. All right. I may change that. I'm not 100% liking it, but who knows? Let me lower the volume just a little bit. So that adds to the rhythm, but there's some tone in there. That's what I like to hear. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is add some little bells just to double the melody a little bit. That's going to bring it out a lot more without raising the overall volume. So, let's see. We could use Omnisphere. We could use some orchestral library. I want some sort of bell sound. You know, I like that kind of vibey sound where it's a little detuned. That one's a good one. That one's cool too. I'm looking for one with vibrato in it, but sort of like a detuned vibrato. Oh, hey, Bridge Capper. If so, my client is actually He's actually in this chat, so if you want to check out his channel and listen to the songs, he recreates Sonic the Hedgehog songs or themes. They sound pretty cool. I can't. It was here somewhere. Let me search the whole thing. 1 second. I'll put vibe in there. I think it was Icicle Vibrato. If that competes too much with the synth sound, I'm not going to use it. And if the client doesn't like it, I won't use it either. Yeah, I think that competes too much. So all that work just for nothing. No, it's not for nothing because I eliminated that sound. It's not going to work. That one's good. It's going to cut through. But that reverb is too long. Where is it? Right here. So I'm going to... That's like 10 seconds. You know what? It might be the actual sample itself. So 1 beat. So we have to go to amplitude. There you go. It sort of reminds me of that little waiting music. How's it go? Three, 4. I forgot how it goes. I need to hear it, but anyway. Let's call this bell synth. All right. 1, 2. Actually, you know what? I just have to copy and paste it. Even though it's really fun to play this. Da, 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 da. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. I don't know why that took me so long. And then let's raise it from 0. Call this bell synth. Or melody double. And then start raising it little by little. All right, so let's listen to the whole thing. So what we have so far. Oh, we forgot that guitar. There you go. Okay, so I like the way this sounds. I like the way this sounds. But if you notice, when we get from the guitar section to the synth section, all of a sudden we have this huge change, this huge contrast. And it's not a good one either. First of all, it sounds louder over here on this section on theme 3. Second of all, it sounds too bassy, too muddy on the low mid end and the lows. This section here is a little thinner and brighter, and I would say more balanced. But here, we have to start fixing stuff. So let's find out what it is, though. So I'm guessing it's either the bass or the synth arpeggio. So what I'm going to do is compare these basses, the drive bass and the slap bass. Already I can hear that the drive bass is a lot thinner. And look at the difference in the volume. So just to get a number. So here's the drive bass. I'm going to reset those. Yeah, negative 23 and negative 24. And you can see this huge difference. So that was probably the problem. So I'm gonna loop this and then start adding the bass in. Whoops, sorry. Let me mute the rhythm guitar. I don't want it in there. So it's Eclipse. So we lost volume, or I lowered the volume, but what that did was that it made it hard to hear the slap. So rather than raising the volume again, we can do a couple things. We can compress it, or we could boost those higher frequencies or mid-high frequencies that make that slap come out. I'm going to go with the first option, or the EQ option. I'm going to use Fab Filter, the Pro Q3. And we're going to listen just on that part. Just find that slap frequency. I think it's right here. All right, so let's compare those two sections again, see if that solved the issue. All right, good. That solved the bass issue. Now I feel like the arpeggio is too loud. It's like trying to compete with the melody. So let's go to the arpeggio and let's start doing some stuff to it. All right, I don't know if there is a harmony for the melody, but we might add one. And there might be some other things going on there. Let's listen to it with the rhythm guitar. Maybe it might sound good. I feel like the rhythm guitar doesn't really make it worse. So let's see if it adds that continuity. All right, I'm going to add a crescendo right here, or not crescendo, the cymbal swell. All right, that makes it sound like it flows into it more. All right. It's time to create a unique theme. And what I'll do is I'll send the client a first draft of this. Ask him, hey, what do you think? What do you think of the mix? What do you think of the arrangement? And he'll give me feedback. Like I don't like this part, or can you change this instrument or bring it out? And I'll work with him like that, him or her. Let's see. So at this point, I have to ask myself, when am I going to add a new theme? Is it going to be right after this, or should I repeat all the material that happened before? Because the theme is going to be pretty special. And in the past few projects, the theme has been something contrasting to the entire project. It has some similarities, so it doesn't sound like it's a new piece. It just sounds like we have a shift here. It could be the key, it could be the rhythm, it could be the whole feel of the tempo. But I'm gonna listen to how it sounds if I just take all this material and copy and paste it. So that doesn't sound like it flows into it. All right, stop guitar. So the reason why it doesn't sound like it flows is because of the drum set. Usually in this case, I'll have some type of drum fill as my transition. Another thing too is that the instruments, let's see, I think it's the key. I think it's the key that's making it feel that way. This is a very massive accompaniment. Very much happening with the drums. You make the drums more simple, I think. Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to see the name Harold Anderson. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Okay, as far as fills go, I like to cheat here because I own a lot of MIDI packs. I won't apologize for this, actually. TuneTrack has incredible MIDI packs, and I use them all the time. Unfortunately, the way that they map everything, you can't just drag it and then expect it to sound good on another drum plugin. So I'm going to go to Grooves, and I'm going to write in fill, basic rock fills. So how long do I want it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So one measure long, one bar long. I don't want to swing, so I'm going to keep it straight. This is what I love about it, is the filters. I want something with more toms. So I'm going to go over here to Power Hand. Power Hand, I think, filters the part that is getting the most emphasis. So in this case, it's not really showing me toms, unfortunately. So fill. Let me see if I've favorited any. So I'm going to put a fill. I like this one right here. But let's see if it fits. And then I'm going to drag that to, where's the drum track? It's there, I know. Oh, there it is. Hey, that actually sounds really good. All right, now let's see if this works again. Whoops. That was too far back. All right, that's merging better. That's sounding a little bit better, but it's not quite there. We need some. Think of it like. Okay, I'm trying to picture something. You're tying one thing to another. So in this case, we have one string. That's not enough to bring them together. I think we need one more element that's going to tie it. And in some cases, I have a synth rise. I don't know. I forgot what I usually write. Synth rise. So. Too long. That's very dramatic. I'm looking for something a little smoother that doesn't really go up and down. So here on the corner, hopefully you can see this. I'm looking for a certain shape. Something with this shape, but not this long. Maybe not cinematic. There you go. That's a pretty cool one, actually. I really like that. All right. So this is obviously too long. This is spanning many measures. So we can actually shorten this, remember, by clicking on one twice and then just dragging it. And you know what? Since it's sonic, this is a really good effect to use because it gives that impression of winding up. And let's drag this back. Maybe 2 measures might be good. All right, let's listen to that by itself just to make sure that it has the correct reverb on it. I don't think this one has reverb though. That's a really cool sound. So let's add reverb to this. H reverb stereo. And then we'll put wetness at 50% for now. It's really cool. All right. Yes, that makes it so much better. All right, I think it would fit even better over here. I don't like to overuse these. I try not to overuse these. I think they should go in really special spots. So this is going to go into this. Yeah, that's a way better connection. What do you guys think? All right. Oh, sorry about that. I keep forgetting about the electric guitar, the rhythm. Okay, so on. Thank you. Hi, Solrak. You said it's me, Carlos, a blind guy. How are you doing? Doing well, thank you. Kind of late for the streaming. Do you take my advice for the electric guitar on the beginning? What did you say about the electric guitar? Oh, I think you're the one that you commented on another video, right? About the staccato. Um, I need to go back and see that. But what was I going to say about this? Okay, so there's something that I don't like about the synth section. I don't know if it's the EQ, but something about it sounds like it. I have this. There's this tonal balance that I see in my mind, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, whoa, something just popped out that's a little bit too much. Let's see if we can pan these a little bit differently. So the maybe the brass synth lead I'll do just a little bit to the left, and then the bell synth I'll just do a little bit to the right. Let's see if that fixes it. Okay, that's okay, that's all right. Another thing I want is to add a warm pad right there. And then let's go ahead and record that, because warm pad, since it has a slow attack, you need to have musical timing when you're playing it. And if you just put the notes in on right on the beats or right on the grid lines, you're gonna hear a delay there, or this latency, and it's not gonna sound good. So let's go ahead and try this manually. All right, that sounds pretty good, actually. Let's see. Okay, maybe on this first hit, I want the hit to be really big. So I'm going to add an orchestral hit. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as the section before. As a matter of fact, adding little changes like this is what makes a piece a little more special. There you go. You guys tell me what you think. That wasn't really loud, but I think that's okay. And maybe on this section we can add tambourine. That way it adds some variation. It gives it a little bit more energy coming in. So I'm not going to have time to do the original theme. I think I'm going to do part 5. I'm going to have to do a part 5, and that's going to be the final piece of this puzzle. So far we have now, with this repeat, 1 minute and 14 seconds of track. The original theme is probably going to add another 30 seconds, and then we're going to repeat the whole thing. It is video game music, so it's very repetitive, but that's okay. You know, I think the idea is to become familiar with a theme and associate it with wherever you're playing. All right. So one more thing I would note is that I think theme 3 is too short. I would probably double it, and on the second half, maybe add a guitar harmony or a guitar double of the melody, just to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'll try that next time. But if you are enjoying this, if you like this tutorial or demonstration of my workflow, hit that like button. Okay, I know a lot of people have already watched this so far, maybe a couple hundred. But please hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. If you're just passing by and you think this is interesting, subscribe and leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. So thanks for watching. It almost sounds like a Mega Man X. I'm not familiar with that. But anyway, everybody who commented and is here supporting my channel, thank you very much and take care.